Hey, it's Danielle Wiley from Sway Group, and I am here with my Twofer Tuesday. So this week it's all about podcasts. I took my dog on a hike yesterday and decided to catch up on some of my more businessy podcasts, and both of them really have my brain going more fast than usual. So the first one I listened to is the first episode of the latest season of Startup on Gimlet Media, and the whole topic of that episode just really hit me. So he was talking about, it was about a year ago, and their company was going through just a real turning point where they were realizing that all along they had been building these super high quality, really high production volume podcasts, and that's what the whole company was built on. And as the industry has been adjusting, there's just been this flood of podcasts that are lower production quality, that can be churned out with a lot less budget being spent, and are just a lot more profitable. And it kind of threw them through a loop just because the industry was changing so much. And I don't know if any of you guys who are involved in influencer marketing to the extent that we are, but I'm really seeing some of the same things with that as I do with podcasts in that way. There's just so many companies out there. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last week, but there are so many companies out there that are just churning out influencer marketing without really QAing everything, without really paying a ton of attention to the quality. And we've always been, sitting here, I don't want to say on our high horse, but we do amazing work. We do such high quality work. And it just got me thinking, and I don't even know what to do with it yet, but would love to hear some of your perspectives on this. Are you seeing a change in what's going on with influencer marketing or even with podcasts? I am a big podcast fan, so it was interesting to me to think about it from that perspective too. I listen to both. I mean, I love This American Life, love Startup, love Serial, love all those podcasts that have a ton of production volume or ton of production time put into them. But I also love Armchair Expert, which they brought up as an example of one that really does not take a ton of production time at all and is much cheaper to produce. So anyway, that was on my mind. And then the other podcast that I was listening to was an episode on the How I Built This podcast, featuring the founders of the company EO, which actually is based here in Marin County, and I'm a big fan of it. But what I did not know is that they are a privately held company. They have not taken funding, much like Sway Group. So it was just very interesting to hear about that too. And something that my brain has been working itself around also is just the perception of companies that are privately held and have not taken on equity investments and venture capital versus the perception of those who have done that. I'm seeing conferences where to even apply to be part of it, you have to have taken on some funding and be either, early stage or late stage, but what if you're no stage? What if you're bootstrapped and you built this company from the ground up without any investment and you own it yourself and it's been profitable? There's something to be said for that. And it's just interesting. I don't have all my thoughts formulated around it, but listening to this episode just kind of got me thinking about it. And anyway, it's a great company, EO, and it was a really interesting episode. So if you like the How I Built This podcast, I definitely recommend that one. And that's what's on my mind this week.